Hello, Sinai. Hi, Lelaine. So these free messages are like literally very quick. I'm just reading the line that is on the card for these particular ones. I just got this deck in the mail today. Um, so yeah, make sure you like the stream, share if you feel inclined to. Mm, Okay, just give me one moment. Okay. Sanai, if you're still here, it says do your best to stay grounded and in touch with your own growth. So do your best to stay grounded and in touch with your own growth. If anybody has specific questions or anything like that, those will require a payment, and services and prices are in the description box below. So make sure you read that thoroughly before you send a payment. Lelaine, are you here still? You're welcome. I don't know how long I'm going to be on here. Uh, so I'm going to try to be on here for at least an hour. Lelaine, shine a light on what's working well for you today. Shine a light on what's working well for you today. So basically, this is basically literally guidance telling you what to do. So shine a light on what's working well for you today. You're welcome. But yeah, I'll just only say an hour because I don't know how long I'm gonna be by myself. So um, we'll see. But yeah, I hope everybody is doing well. Make sure that you're staying hydrated because I know it is hot. Is you know what here, like very very hot. So, which is why I'm in front of the fan. I don't have the air conditioner on because all it's doing is running up a bill. So, um, yeah, I'm just sitting in front of the fan, trying to stay cool. Anybody that's in here right now, do you have a birthday coming up? I don't know why that's coming up, but hmm, or some type of celebration, but specifically birthday is coming up for some reason, and that's just a random message, a random download. Or maybe for somebody that's watching the replay, maybe, I don't know. I mean, at the moment, I don't know anybody's birthday personally that's coming up at the moment. Um, mm, nope, I don't know anybody that. At least I can't remember. I'm sure I probably know somebody, but I don't know who, and I don't know what date it would even be in. But not with a June birthday, at least. Hello, Rashima. Hi, Avani. I do apologize if I said that incorrectly. So these are just quick messages. Basically, I'm just reading what's on the card. Um, and these particular cards, I just got these in the mail today. I ordered them last weekend, I think. Was it last weekend? Either last weekend or the beginning of the week. I can't remember. I think it was last weekend. And what's on here is literally just like a quick um okay. Ivani. Okay. Um but yeah, it's basically just like a quick piece of advice, basically telling you what to do. So I'm not going in depth, but just reading what's on the card here. Sometimes I give more insight, sometimes I just feel like keeping it simple for the free stuff. Okay, so Rashima, you are required to be happy, or you are not required to be happy all the time. You are not required to be happy all the time. So basically, these are messages that are left up to your own interpretation. So, what does that mean to you? It's not about my interpretation, but what is this saying to you, basically? Okay, I've, wait, you're saying uh, Avani. Is that it? So that one that I just did was for Rashima. Be sure to leave a like on the stream. It'll help me out a lot, and I will very much so appreciate it. It could also be a form of energy exchange, also. Okay, Ivani, you have, and this flip, and I am in front of the fan, so maybe that's why. But like in the midst of me rifle shuffling it, it just flipped right on over. For you, Ivani, it says, let go of the desire for control and let the future unfold. Let go of the desire for control and let the future unfold. So that is for Avani. And thank you guys for being here and for your support. I appreciate it. I am trying to figure out how to do a giveaway. I have been thinking about it like a lot lately. I just don't know what I want to do. I don't know if I'm going to do a reading or send something off or maybe give you a choice. I don't know. But do stay tuned for a giveaway because I should be doing one pretty soon. Just make sure that you are, I would say to look out for a community tab post maybe. And I may do a video. Not sure. but just, look out for either or both. You're welcome. All right. I don't know if Rashima's still here, but hers, I believe, was you are not required to be happy all the time. And why I remember that, I don't know. But there it is. And the deck that I'm using, if anybody's wondering, it is called Take What You Need. It says it's an affirmation deck, but in my opinion, it's not. But I guess you could, affirmations have to be phrased a certain way. So that's why I say that these are not affirmations, but you can still turn them into affirmations. Like, for example, Rashima's message. Hi, Stephanie. Rashima's message was, you are not required to be happy all the time. So what you can do is replace you with I. For example, I am not required to be happy all the time. At that point, it then becomes an affirmation. So yeah, but it does say that it is an affirmation deck for tuning into your inner voice. Is by Danny DePiero, and I got it from Amazon. If anybody is interested in that at all, but yeah, I don't know. I felt instantly guided to it when I saw it. I wasn't even looking for oracle cards, and it popped up, and I was like, definitely have to get this. Stephanie, open your heart to the changes coming into your life. For this to be again an affirmation, it would, for me, it would have to say, I open my heart to the changes coming into my life. But so I mean, it's kind of an affirmation. You just have to kind of reword it a little bit. But yeah, again, yours, Stephanie, is open your heart to the changes coming into your life. So that is for you, Stephanie. And guys, thank you for being here and for your support. Please make sure that you leave a like, as it can take the place of, or not take the place, but it can be a form of energy exchange as well. You're welcome. But yeah, I just got these in today. I did a collective message over on Instagram with them. If you want to see that message, it is or my Instagram is Gifted Soul 7. And I'm Gifted Soul 7 on TikTok also, and I put the message over there too. I don't always do that. Sometimes I just put it on one platform and that's it. Sometimes I put it on all of them. Sometimes I put it on only two or three of them. It just depends on like what I feel guided to do. But yes, I do post mostly on Instagram as far as collectives go, but you just never know where I'm going to post it. You may get it on YouTube, you might not. It just depends, I guess, on my mood and just where I feel gravitated to go. And of course, if anybody has specific questions, my services and prices are listed in the description box below. These are services and prices that are only exclusive to the YouTube live streams. Okay. Um, I do have an Etsy shop, a website, and an email address where you can book with me for readings, for private readings. Now there is maybe three or four items here that I do offer outside of the stream, but most of this again is only exclusive to the streams. So do keep that in mind. But if you ask me about something via email, I will let you know if that in particular is something I do outside of the lives. Okay. Hmm. Um, Also, don't forget that I do have sage kits available on Etsy as well. Okay. Okay, well, I assume that y'all can hear me pretty well, because nobody's complaining just yet. But I just mentioned that because I am sitting like directly in front of a fan because I'm hot. Uh, but let me know if it's too loud, because if so, I'll just move to another room. Okay, I actually need to do some posting today. Yep, I really do. I think I'll wait till tonight and do it. Yep. Oh yeah, and I also did get a new love message deck in. Also, um, it's called Twin Flame Love Messages, or is it just? I think it's just Twin Flame Messages actually. Um, and it's by Raquel. Well, her stage name is Intuitive Envisions 1111, but um, yeah, but yeah, that's a new one. I'm thinking I might add it to the list on the description box for the stream services. God, I can't talk. For the live stream services. Um, but I just wasn't thinking about it before I got on here. And I never did post the messages I pulled on YouTube. I posted it everywhere else but YouTube for some reason. But again, you can find me posting on Instagram more than anything else. Okay. Um. Hi, Tim. Yes. Last minute thing, honestly, but I am here. So I had to answer the landline. It was my dad. I started not to answer it, but luckily I did. Whew. It's definitely important that I get his phone calls for sure. I don't know why he didn't call my cell phone, but at least he called, I guess. But anyway, I am here for free messages. So they're just quick messages. I'm just reading what's on the card. It's pretty quick. Um, but it's basically literally just a piece of advice, basically like literal advice. But if anybody wants one, and I am doing paid readings also, should anybody be interested in specific questions or detailed reading or anything like that. I am doing pretty good for the most part. It's just been hot, of course, today. But other than that, I've been decent. I hope you're doing well. And make sure you drink some water because if it's anything like it is here, yeah. Huh. Hmm. Yep. Y'all can hear me fine. Right. Hopefully. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can because by now, I guess you probably would have said something, but I'm just making sure because, again, I am sitting directly in front of a fan. So, uh, Tim, you have setting clear boundaries is an act of self love. Now, that one is more like an affirmation, yeah. But yeah, setting clear boundaries is an act of self love. Okay. Make sure you guys like the stream. And again, I do appreciate you guys for being here and for your support. Yes, that is the message. So yeah, they are. When I say quick, it's just these ones are straight to the point. The cards that I'm using for the free messages, and I'm just only reading what's on the card. So like when I say quick, they're real quick. um, but yes, again, setting clear boundaries is an act of self love. I have also thought about coming on here and just like giving y'all a word for the day. Like, you know how I'm doing the messages, just giving each person maybe even just a word to like reflect on. I thought about that, but I know people, I don't know, people more so just want questions answered and stuff. And I understand that 100%. But hmm. Affirmation of a recent message from a different reader. Interesting. But yeah, if that's the case, then it's probably definitely a sign for you. Now, I will say this. Now, sometimes it depends on the message and like what aspect the message is about. Um, but the majority rules thing, that, for example, if you get the same, I wouldn't say the same message, but I'm going to say, should you ask like different readers the same question and then maybe most of them tell you the same thing, that does not always mean that that is actually what's going to happen. And another thing that can happen when we're doing readings is if that same answer comes up for you, I'm really speaking more so when it comes to specific questions and not just the general message. Because with the general message, with any reader, I feel like whatever comes out, whether it makes sense in that moment or not, it is something that you needed to hear for whatever reason. Either now or later, it's going to make some type of sense. It's going to register. But when it comes to like specific questions again, and you're getting the same answer from multiple readers, I can see where people think, okay, that must mean that that's going to happen that way. Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes the case is, again, say that I'm giving you an answer that another reader gave you, and that could be that I am picking up on what they told you rather than it being your actual outcome. Sometimes that's what happens. Um, but it just depends. It's different for everybody and different for every situation. But yeah, but something like the message that I just gave you, that is something I would say definitely is some type of sign when it's a specific piece of advice, not an answer, but a specific piece of advice given to you by more than one person, especially around a short period of time. Definitely, that is something for you to consider when it's just general, random advice. Then, even if it's not for more than one person, again, in my opinion, a general reading, again, is like what you need to hear. And you may not understand why you're needing to hear that at that time, but I promise you later on, you'll reflect on it and be like, okay, so that is what she meant when she said this, and that is what she meant when she said that. So that's how I feel like that works. But yeah, okay, yeah. Now with my pools though, well, just generally speaking, like if I'm giving you a message and you already have set an intention for it to be about something specific, I'm going to tell you that in my readings, what's going to happen is you're going to get, again, what you need, and it may not be about what you had in your mind. Because my spirit guides, and I feel like this is a general thing with any reader, but I know mine specifically, they will redirect your course. Meaning, if what you had in your mind when I gave you this message, or when I give you any message, is not something you should focus on, the message is possibly more than likely about something completely off topic than what you were thinking about. So you have to really reflect on these messages to see what you immediately, sometimes you're going to know what it's about. As soon as I tell you the message is going to click and you're going to immediately know. But sometimes, yeah, you are going to have to think about it um, to see, what it's trying to tell you and for what aspect is the message for, basically. But yeah, I mean, that's a good way to do it, to have a certain thing in your mind. But again, when it's just a random message, it's about what the messages I give that are like random and they're free and they're general. That's completely up to the universe of what they want it to be about. Um, but yes, you can most definitely set an intention. I just can't guarantee that the message is actually going to be about that thing. But if somebody wants to know about something specific and you book a reading with me, make sure ask the question, please. Don't wait and try to see if I'm going to bring it up. Please ask me the question. Um, because that is one pet peeve I have. Yes, I am a psychic. Yes, I am a gifted person. But spirit is not going to reveal every little thing to me every time or at all, actually. So if you have something specific on your mind, whether you pay me for a reading or I'm offering free questions, maybe ask a question pertaining to that. Don't be like, oh, well, I'm going to ask about Bobby when really I wanted to know about Noah. Okay, so why didn't you ask me about Noah? That is a pet peeve, a very, very, very frustrating pet peeve of mine. And it happens more than you think. Huh? You mentioned keywords that were okay. That thing is in my way. I can't. Let me go over here to see that. Okay, you mentioned keywords that were also said in the other read. The other reading from the other person, you mean? Yeah. I'm not at all saying whatever it is that you were having, the intention that was in your mind for what the message should be about for you. I'm not at all saying that that's not what it's about. I'm just simply saying that um, when I do these random messages, I like for it to, I just feel like the message is more random than that. So while it could be what it is that you wanted it to be about, it just may not be, is what I'm saying. Yeah. No, that was just an example. I'm saying questions in general. Like, for example, if you wanted, I have people that come to me very often that ask me about one thing when they want to know about something else. And I guess I just hope I bring that up in the question that they asked or that they paid me for. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying like that's just an example when I used people, but I'm saying that this is for anything. For example, you come to me and say, hey, I want to know about a job, but then later on you're going to tell me that you really wanted to know about when you were going to get a car. Okay, well, that should have been the question that you asked. That's what I'm saying. So whether it's people, material items, whatever the case may be, again, it is a pet peeve for me when people they don't ask what they really want to know about, and then they let you know that after the reading, And it's just like, okay, why didn't you specifically ask me that if that is what you actually want to know about? They want for it to just magically come up. And yes, spirit will reveal information sometimes like that, but spirit is not going to tell me your whole life story. So I guess people are scared to ask sometimes what they really want to know about, but I promise y'all, I do not bite. I don't bite. You don't have to be scared. But yeah, I just bring that up because it happens a lot. For me, I do know. Um, but I do know that when people come to readers, their minds are sometimes all over the place. So I guess sometimes they don't ask the question that they really want to know about because they are focused on a million and one things. So that could be a part of it for some people, but it's still kind of frustrating. Um, but I came here from Jill's channel. Yeah, I don't think I ever actually texted her back actually. Well, she just sent me an emoji. We talked. We actually like when we first met, when we exchanged phone numbers, we actually talked basically every day at one point. But then, y'all, a lot started eventually happening to the point where not only was I not in her live streams as much, 'cause I used to be in every single live stream from the time that I met her, and moderated for her. And still, I do it here and there now, but I was more frequently with it. Um, that was Wednesday. So we last talked Wednesday. But yeah, we were talking every day, but y'all, my life has woo. I mean, I'm okay as far as my life goes on, like just with me, but like it's just family stuff and my dad's been sick. Thankfully, there seems to be progress with him, with his illness, but yeah, it was rough. And so that took up a lot of my time and a lot of my energy. And so now I'm back being able to do a little bit more now since he hasn't been home. He's been in a rehabilitation center, to help him get better with, he's got cancer. So, uh, and it had got bad. He was like frequently in the hospital, a lot, and nothing's ever happened in our family like that. So it's been a transition, um, but yeah. Now he's in a, people keep saying it's a nursing home, but it's not a nursing home. He's in the rehabilitation part of it, and that's where like those are people that actually can fully recover. Um, but my dad had problems with like his main issue was not eating. Um, not eating. He was taking his medicine and stuff every day, but he got to where like he went how many months? Not months, not weeks, not days, but I don't know, like 4 or 5 months basically eating nothing. And he got to where that he wasn't even drinking his shakes or anything like that. So Oh wow. I will keep him in my prayers because it's like I'm not laughing. I'm not. It's not funny, but it's just like, it's hard. It is hard to watch. So, but yeah, that was him on the phone that called the house phone when I had to get up. But finally, after months of trying to get this man to eat, I mean, of course, every once in a while he had a little nibble of something, but he was doing that for months. He basically wasn't eating at all. So finally, we get him into this place finally, and he's at first he just had to get adjusted. At first, he wasn't he got to where over there he wasn't eating either, like when he first got there, but then like out of nowhere he started like eating more. I think he's just trying to get out of there, but he started eating more. um and he's doing pretty good for the most part, but he is still going to take a little bit of time for him to actually fully recover. So uh but yeah, let me mute this. um I'm still gonna be on here, but I might switch to type, y'all. So I will still be here, but for now I'm gonna type. Okay, so I just moved to another room real quick. I'll probably be on here for a good 15 more minutes, and I might be back on later. So if anybody wants a free message, or wants to get a paid reading, let me know. Um, but yeah, he's doing better. Um, his cancer did spread everywhere though, so but he can. I'm not laughing. It's just um, but it is it's still to where they can clear it out. He can basically be cancer free, but he just would have to continue to try to recover, and he would have to um, want. Eventually, he's going to have to go back to his chemo and radiation treatments, and continue. Right now, to continue taking his medicine is going to help as well. But the main thing that was a struggle was getting him to eat. That was the main issue we had. So, um, yeah. And then last week he had a partial hip replacement because his bones are so brittle. Um, yeah, somehow his hip broke. I think he might have been trying to do too much physical activity, his therapy or something. I don't know. But yeah, so, but he can get better. It'll just take time. But anyway, yeah. Hi, Rishi Lahori. Yeah, I am sorry if said that incorrectly. If you're still here, yes, you can have a message. Just let me know if you're still here. I kind of got sidetracked. Ooh, you had a heart attack back in. Oh, girl, or why am I saying girl? Um, why did I say girl? But yeah. Phew. Now that's the crazy part. That is the crazy part. Like the not eating actually helped in some ways, but he went too long. And they did say that if his potassium got too low or something, it could cause. Yeah, I realized that. I don't know why I was saying girl. Um, well, I mostly females come to me, so maybe that's why. But I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, the not eating actually in some ways helped him because he did lose weight, a lot of it, but he's lost a little too much though. It was excessive. But he actually did end up off of his blood pressure medication because of, I guess, somehow the not eating helped with that. Um yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Y'all know I don't mean any harm. Like I know you're a guy, but it's just like I don't know, when I get to talking, I just be talking and yeah. But oops. Okay, Rishi. I don't know what's on your mind, but apparently you have a lot on your mind because all these freaking cards, I barely shuffled and they flew out. But yeah, let me redo this again. Um Rishi Lahori, you have through honest expression, you can create new connections. So that is for you. So again, these are very quick, quick, quick. When I say quick, very quick. Just reading what's on the card, and the messages on here are really short. So it says through honest expression, you can create new connections. So yeah, if anybody has specific questions or anything like that, they do require payment. Services and prices are in the description box below. Um, and yes, I do free questions sometimes. So you just have to keep a lookout. But today is not one of those days. But yeah. You're welcome. But yeah, usually when like a lot of cards fly out like that, I sometimes I feel like it's somebody the person has a lot on their mind. It's not always the case, but I specifically felt called to say that for you. So um, either a lot on your mind or you're focusing on too much at once. Maybe kind of like a Ten of Wands type of energy. Um, putting all your eggs in one basket type of thing. But what time is it? It is 6:54 Central Standard Time where I'm at. Um but yeah, when you said heart attack, they did say that like if his potassium got too low, which would have happened should he keep continuing not to eat, that would have caused him to have heart problems eventually. But he's correcting all of that. Hopefully he keeps going. Um yeah. It's been a weird, I mean, well, we knew, when did we know? Actually, I mean, I know he had the cancer before they actually diagnosed him with it, like for a good little while before they actually told him. Um, I'm trying to remember. I think we found out towards the end of last year, 2023, and then by February we found out that it was spreading. Um, but he has a slow growing form, so his like he could definitely make a full recovery, but with it spreading like it is, like I I mean, they still give us hope, but you know, um, but he really don't have the worst kind that there is. Like again, he has one of the slowest growing forms of cancer, but he allowed it to beat him is the problem. He got down in the dumps, literally depressed. Like literally, the man like cried tears. I've never seen him cry tears a day in my life. A day in my life. But at my age, where now I am grown, is you know what? Like he was in so much pain, he literally broke down to me and my mom. Never imagine that and how much anxiety it brought me because I'm like, again, you never want to see your family members go through that. And it was just crazy. Because again, I maybe he may have done some crying in front of me when I was a baby. I don't know. Obviously, I don't remember that far back, but I'm grown. And to see my dad, like, it was like, what is going on? But it's just been weird, very strange. Yeah, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, COVID is weird. COVID caused a lot of like damage to even like the most healthiest people. Like they were good until COVID hit. I had COVID once. And the thing is, people always said I was less likely to get it because I'm a homebody. But people um people that I live with, they were still going to work, including my dad at the time. They were still going to work. They well, my dad didn't really. I don't think he ever had it. He's not working too close to people when he was working. He was a truck driver, so he had very minimum contact with people. Um, but I did end up with it. I got it from literally, pretty sure it was from being in the house. My sister, my nephew had it. My nephew, I guess my sister got it from him, which is her son. And then my sister is a very affectionate person. And apparently she didn't know what space was. And I'm pretty sure I got it from her. Pretty sure. I got it around the same time that they got it. So, um, yeah. Now I feel like I may have had it more than once. I just didn't know. I do know for a fact that I've had it at least one time. And wow. Like when I had it, I just knew. Like not right away, but like maybe like an hour or two into me feeling sick, I said, I have to have this. I'm pretty sure I have this. I took a test that night, but of course, it kind of works like a pregnancy test. So I tested, I guess, too early, but by morning, I took another one and it was positive. But I, at that point, already knew I had it. Already knew I had it. Yeah, my sister is also a cancer, so do with that what you will. Uh, Actually, my nephew, her son, he is very affectionate too, at least towards me. So he probably gets that from her. Because she likes to touch me and pick up on me and hug me, and it's cute. But like, don't do you not have COVID right now? Why are you touching me? But yeah, my sister is a year younger than me. The one that I'm talking about, I have two sisters. One is a year younger. Um, I don't. I gotta look at our birthdays because I think we are Irish twins, but I'm not exactly sure. I know she said that at one point, and that is when like you're so many months apart from each other. I don't. I'm not sure about that though. I know she said it, but I gotta look into that. She just be claiming everything. But she's a July Cancer, and I'm an Aquarius. But it makes sense when I think about like how we were as kids and how we are now. Like once I did start getting into zodiac signs and stuff like that, when I look at it, it makes a whole lot of sense. Oh, because I not recently, but not very long ago, I realized that she was a water sign, and I was like, that makes so much sense. Um, but yeah, she's a year younger, and my oldest sister is about 6 years older than me, so she would be 7 years older than my younger sister. Um, but what is July? Oh, July 10th. Okay. Hers is July 13th. July 13th. I don't know the rest of my families like their um I know some of their main signs, but I don't know like the rest of their charts. I do know mine, and I found that out maybe like a couple years ago. I am an Aquarius sun, Sagittarius rising, Capricorn moon. Those are my main sign is Aquarius. My dad, he's an Aquarius. My mom, she's a Taurus. Um, and my older sister, she is an Aries. And then my younger sister, the Cancer. So again, once I got into my psychic abilities and got into all of this stuff, their signs, now that I know what they are, make a whole lot of sense with the way that they act. Like, yes. Now I try not to depend on like astrology like that, because people do too much. They blame every little thing on their zodiac sign. But um it is a good tool. Just don't abuse it. Okay. But yeah, what they say about Aquarius is, and really air signs in general, for me, again, when I really did my research and I got more into this type of stuff, again, a lot of sense. I am, to myself, I guess you can call me quirky, however you say that word, quirky. What is it? Whatever. I never can pronounce that word 100% correctly. So, um, I am very creative. I definitely am highly intuitive, hence why I have this channel and why I even do what I do. Um, yeah. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be like down to the T of what people say about that sign, because again, you're not going to be exactly like that sign. Everybody's different. But I definitely have most qualities that people say I have. Aries, Taurus, 419. April 19th, you say? Oh, you're on the cusp of okay, you're on the cusp of being a Taurus. Is that what you're saying? But you're an Aries, but you were almost a Taurus type thing. And there's a lot of air signs in this house at the moment. Um, yeah, I'm just saying, there's people that literally they go overboard with it. Like, oh my God, I stabbed my teacher. That's because I'm an Aries. Like, what? Are we really blaming our zodiac signs on this right now? That's what I mean by abusing it. And people do that. People do stuff like that. But yeah, I'm an Aquarius. My nephew that's in here right now, he is 17, making me feel old. 17. Um, my sister had him when she was, I think, 17, actually. 16, I think she was pregnant at 16, had him 17. Um, and I was like 12, 13, somewhere at the time. But he's a Libra. A Libra. I'm an Aquarius, and then my other nephew, he is 8. I think he turned 8 this year. Yeah, he is a Gemini. So imagine us all being in the same roof at one time. We're all air signs. And my grandma on my mom's side, she's an Aquarius too. So yeah, but yeah, definitely people. Um, some research on your signs can't hurt. Again, it is useful to know like where you align in the like how your chart is and where you align and the stars, that type of thing. Because it's weird, but it actually does, like, I wouldn't say it defines you completely when it comes to who you are as a person, but to know that like where you were even born at and when makes a difference when it comes to a lot of aspects of you as a person. It's just still mind boggling to me that a lot of that actually makes sense. Like how is this correct? It is correct, but how? Like, how do you even put that? Like, it's crazy. It's fascinating. Now, see, I don't know about my Venus and all of that. That I don't know. I just know my big three. I am Leo, Moon, and Venus, Gemini. I look at the houses and asteroids, and yeah, it's definitely fascinating. It is. It definitely is. But yeah, those I don't know. I don't know like my houses or anything like that necessarily, but um, I have learned a lot about myself in doing this type of work, y'all. Like tapping into this helped me figure out who I am as a person in a way. So, or really understand how I am as a person. Yes. And tarot, I know a lot about like the signs and stuff because of tarot also. So, yeah. Because with like, for example, the cups, right? Those are linked to your emotions, your heart space. And it's water sign energy generally. Now, yes, there's other cards in here where there's like more than one element and more than one sign associated. But when I see, for example, Eight of Cups, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer is the first thing that comes to my mind because that is an element of water. But there are other, yeah, I don't either. And people think, and I've explained 100 times that that's not the case. I don't get a lot of readings in general, and that's not to do with me thinking that I am better than anybody. Like people would say, I know you don't need a reading from me because you're, and I'm just like, why do y'all think that that's what it is? No, I just don't like my energy to be tapped into like that often. I am not only just a psychic, but I'm very empathic. My energy is easily influenced, I guess you can say. Um, and I just don't like other people tapping into that, especially if maybe I'm not really in need of a reading. I just don't I don't know. I don't get readings on myself. I don't do readings on myself like that. And people are like, well, how? I mean, you got all these cards, you're a psychic, like what are you doing? No. My energy, no. To me that's unhealthy. You have to know your limits and you have to set boundaries with even yourself in this business. So I don't do readings on myself like that, and I don't want others doing readings on me like that. Again, not because they're not good enough or anything like that, or somehow because I think I'm better than them. That is not the case. So I need people to get that out of their head. I'm just sensitive to energy, and I don't like my energy feels tapped into very often. And I know that sounds weird coming from somebody who reads others for a living, but that's just how I feel. Okay. So, yeah. And I'm one of the first readers to tell you when you don't need a reading. I will literally, and people get them anyway. I can't stop you from, if you're going to spend your money with me, go right on ahead. But I'll try to tell you, I really don't think it's necessary for you to get a reading right now. Um, I know that ain't good for business because I'm missing out on money, but like I'm not just in it for the money. Yes, I do take it seriously. I do want to be paid for this because I'm very good at it. But at the same time, like if I feel like you really don't need a reading and you're pushing it, I'm going to tell you. Or I'm going to tell you, hey, how about you come back to me when something significant happens in the situation? I'm one of those that will let you know. So, um, because I really do this. Like I really do this. Okay. Um, and I didn't just wake up one morning and decide, hey, I'm gonna go read people. No. If you'd have asked me 10 years ago if I would be doing this, is at a point in time I never even heard of tarot. Maybe I have on TV or something, but I never knew what the heck it was. But I went through certain things that made me get into it. And then I knew I had a gift. Y'all probably won't get tired of me talking about this. So somehow I always end up in these streams talking about like how I got into it. Not all of them, but here lately I've been getting deep into this. Um, but yeah, I knew. Well, actually, no, I didn't know that I had a gift. I had signs that I had a gift, but at the time I didn't know that's what was happening. I didn't know that those were signs that I was gifted. Um, but I went through something that awakened me into like looking into this type of stuff. My intuition was at a all-time high at that point in my life to where like I was knowing stuff I had absolutely no business knowing without being told, without hearing the stuff from anybody else or anything like that. My family members, like when I was a little kid, they noticed stuff, but they didn't want to tell me until I got into this. They were like, I remember where you used to like pick up on things that we didn't even talk about in front of you, but you just like were saying things out of nowhere. And they would look at each other and then look at me and be like, how does she even know that? Because I know for a fact we're not talking about this in front of her. And but yeah, they have experiences in that way with me when I was little. And of course I did know nothing about that when I was little, what was going on. 2014 I think is when like I started really actually understanding and noticing things. That's when I guess I went through a spiritual awakening or whatever you can call it, from a certain situation in my life. And I didn't start doing readings right away or nothing. I waited like another couple years. Um, in that next 2 years, I started for some reason I became more interested in learning tarot, um, in psychic readings and stuff like that. And the more that I did this work, um, the stronger, and I mean very strong, the stronger my abilities got. So um, the saying goes, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. Well, I used it. And like I said, it got up there. So yeah. And now here I am, 10 years, almost 10 years later, and I'm still doing it. This is one thing that I've stuck with. Everything else didn't really give a fair chance. But I still look at this because it's like, I didn't think I would still be doing this. I am still doing this. Again, whereas everything else, I dropped the ball. It's crazy. This is the one thing that I know I'm supposed to be doing. Forget everything else. Yes, I do want to do other things, but this is the one thing that I know for a fact is a part of my life's purpose, and I'm supposed to use it until I'm no longer here. Okay, I don't want to use other words. So, but yeah, I am enjoying this conversation. I'm sorry, when I'm talking to y'all, like I'll be in a whole nother world. Again, I wasn't even looking at this comment section, the chat, but I am enjoying this conversation. I feel called to a spiritual path. So, not everybody is meant to. I will say that. But if you feel a specific calling to it, especially if it's something that has been like a repetitive thought, um, that comes and goes and is very often, definitely get into it. I don't care if you're 85 years old, get into it and do something with it. Now, not everybody is meant to use it in the way that I'm using it and other readers are using it, but I feel like you have to really work around in the field to figure out if it is something you're supposed to be using in that way. Because like I said before in previous live streams, initially this was not something I was trying to make money off of. And people might think I'm lying when I say that, or I'm just trying to like, win cool points. But no, when I tell you money was the farthest thing on my mind when I started this journey, yeah, it was to the point where somebody else told me I needed to charge for my services. I started out completely free volunteering on this website. It was called, and pardon my language, but it was called Psychic Bitch. Okay. Um, and the founder, we had websites where, yes, we were on that website volunteering free readings, answering questions for free. But in turn, what we would get is she would run promos for us. Um, you could like redirect those people that are getting free readings to get a paid reading from you. Again, I literally was not thinking about money at all until she said, listen, how the founder of the site, how are you going to get paid if you're not charging? Because she looked at my website and I had no prices. I had services and no prices. She was like, what are you doing? Like, you're one of the best readers I have ever come across. Why are you not charging people? And so I believe that same day I went and I added prices. Had she not said anything, for a while, I probably would have only been given strictly free reading. So yeah, but yeah, if it's repetitive and often, yeah, there is probably something you're supposed to do. Um, I'm not saying tarot or such. I don't know how yet exactly. Okay, yeah, everybody. I mean, I am a psychic, but I when it came to me starting, I didn't use cards at all. Um, so yeah, I don't I don't think a lot of people understand. I don't need these cards to read you. Do I use them anyway, but and they spirit speaks to me through them also. I don't just go by meanings. Like spirit does actually talk to me with cards too. Um but yeah, I did start without cards. So it doesn't have to be with tarot. However, tarot can help. And I don't even remember how I learned tarot. I know I was self-taught, but I can't actually tell you like how did I sit down to learn it. I think I learned as I went, and I would pay attention to like I was on this website called Aranum. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Oranum, Aranum, whatever it's called. It was a bunch of readers on there. And I think I just picked up, I was there so much that I picked up meanings from them. And not only that, I just kind of knew what they meant without even learning the whole tarot system. Now I do know it. But at the time, like somehow the images I knew what they meant. And I didn't have a beginner tarot deck or anything. I just automatically knew somehow. But now I don't know if they had these then when I got started. I don't remember seeing any beginner friendly decks. But now they have, or I'm noticing now that they have a lot of beginner friendly decks. There's decks with keywords. I still buy them not because I need the keywords, but because I just like decks, and I just buy decks if I feel gravitated towards them, if I like them, if I think they're cute, if things like that. But yeah, now there's cards with meanings on them. So yeah, well, work with them. Work with them, and they will become stronger if that is what you desire to do, though. Um, but yeah, I really don't 100% because people ask me how did I learn, and I really can't 100% actually pinpoint. You would think I would know, but I think I just automatically knew what they meant just looking at them. And I'm talking about the RWS system, rider rate system for tarot. The regular cards with no meanings in the regular original imagery. Somehow I just knew. I don't know how, because again, the titles like Knight of Wands, like a beginner is really not going to know what that means, but somehow I knew what that meant, you know. Um, but yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't. I'm not bragging when I say that, but yeah, I really do actually. It scares me sometimes. It scares me. And that's why I talk about it a lot, because I am like, it's not me bragging, it's just that I'm still so like fascinated by my gifts. Like everybody has a sixth sense, but everybody can't, well, they could connect to it if they really wanted to, but um most people are not meant to do that. For example, like I said before, just because you have something, that doesn't mean you're supposed to use it. Some people are just not supposed to use it. And some people, it's not really heightened. It's only a certain, it's only certain people that are really supposed to take it to the next level. Um, if you don't feel a calling to it, then that's not, you. If you feel a calling to it, then when I say calling, I mean that this has to be like a nudging feeling, something that's getting on your nerves. You're getting signs constantly, things like that. You'll know if it's for you. You will know. And then there's people, like I said before, and there's nothing wrong with this. There are people that just read strictly tarot. They don't use their intuition or any psychic abilities. They just use read by the system, the tarot system, and that's fine. Some people prefer that when it comes to their readers. But I'm just gonna tell you, I don't read like that. Um, I don't know. I For some people it'll probably come across like I am bragging. I mean, it's not gonna hurt if I am because I went through some stuff to get here. So um, that's why I let people brag because you don't know what they went through to get to where they are, as far as like figuring out what you're supposed to do in your life and just life in general. Um, yeah. Mm, if I were to get a reading, I guess, yeah, I would prefer somebody using psychic abilities and not just cards. Using psychic abilities in combination with cards is what I would say I prefer. Um, so yeah. And a lot of people say if you use cards, you cannot actually be naturally gifted, and that is a pet peeve. I hate when people say that because I will go on and on and on about that. That's not how that works, people. Um, yeah, I've heard it a lot because I have people that come to me when they're interested in booking services from me. They're like, are you psychic or do you use tools? And I'm just like, why do people separate the two? Not that everybody just reads by, the tools. Um, I don't separate that. I'm just psychic. Even if I do use a card, I still have abilities that I'm using with it. So yeah. And one thing that people might think is weird is I don't really like to be called a tarot reader because, again, I don't just go by the system. Most of the time, I'm not going by the system. Now, yes, I will say, hey, this is what this card means usually, but I will put my own spin on it and use my intuition on it. Yeah. Yep. Oh, I know. Again, my oldest sister is a Aries, and yeah, you can tell. And Jill is an Aries too, actually. And I think Jill's birthday is like April 8th, I think. And my sister's is April 2nd. Human Design and Gen Keys. Can't say that I have. I've probably seen something about it because it kind of sounds familiar, but I don't think I've just looked into that. No. Yes. Jill is like one of, I don't, I've connected with a lot of people, a handful of people in this industry that I guess I would call a part of my soul tribe, including Jill. And yeah, me and Jill instantly clicked the moment that I stepped foot in her live streams for the very first time. And that's been how long ago? It's been, I think, about 2 years now. Um, People probably wondering who she's talking about because I know she brings me up in her streams a lot when I'm not there. Um, like she shouts me out and stuff, which I do appreciate. Um, but people probably get tired of her shouting me out because I notice when she does say my name, very few people react, if anybody at all. So I feel like I feel like they get annoyed. Um, but maybe that's just me being in my head. She calls you dragon. Yes, and I do not make her do that. Just know that she's just very fond of me, and me and her are pretty close. So, um, Even though we're not close in age, we are. It's like we are. I think it's kind of like one of those past life situations. Um, which most of my friends in this industry are older than me, a lot older than me. I mean, I'm not like young, but I guess people will still say that I'm a baby when I'm not, um, but people say that I have a very old soul, and especially if you look at me, you would think I'm actually younger than what I am. And that is, I don't know if that's going to be a curse or what. I guess that's good for when I get much older, but but yeah. Yeah, she is a wonderful person. She is. She is. And she's funny. Very funny. She's like a mother, mama bear, friend, sister. Like I have like four in one, three in one with her type thing. So but it's more like we're like sisters, I would say. Sisters and friends. I attract a lot of older people as far like even older, and no, I'm definitely not bragging about this because I don't, if you're old enough to be my dad, I'm just not doing it as far as dating. And I have a boyfriend now, but I say now like we just started dating or something. But I do have a boyfriend. Yeah. Even though like I've always attracted older people, even in the dating scene. Um, Again, by that I mean they were into me. I wasn't on that because my dad is what 53 years old. If you're 53 and older, and even a little bit younger than that, no, I'm no. Is that's not for me. But what the hell was I even talking about? Oh, my point is I attract a lot of older people, friends, and just people that are interested in me romantically too. Um, and I don't know why. I have no idea why. 32. I am 29. But if you look at me, people say that I look 16. Actually, I get compared to my 16-year-old niece all the time. Um, and I got compared to her also when she was younger than that. So, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I try not to judge, but no. I no. Again, if you're old enough to be my dad, old enough to be my grandpa, old enough to be my uncle, absolutely not. No. Either the same age or maybe no more than about 5 years older than me. So far though, I've only dated, first of all, I only had like two boyfriends, and I'm with the one that I've always been with for since I was a teenager. Um, we have had separations, but that's neither here nor there, but we're good. Um, but he is my age. Well, he'll be my age. We were born in the same year, but I am 7 months older. Um, yeah. Um, but yeah, so for him, I've dated same age, and that's it. Not necessarily because that's what I seeked after. That's just how it was. Um, Again, maybe they're more than 5 years. Like if me and my boyfriend broke up, God forbid, and we better not. But if we do, no more than 5 years older. 2 years younger. Now my mom is like 5 years older than my dad. Now it's not weird because they're my parents and they're like grown AF now, but they're older now, so it seems normal for me. But like I don't know, like again, I'm not like really necessarily judgmental, but like um yeah. Also, I have this weird thing where I can't see myself being older than the man. Not even a year older. Now, a year older is not bad, but like I joke around with my mom all the time because again she's 5 years older than my dad. Um yeah, 5 years. And I always joke around with them and be like how was that for y'all? Because I mean they obviously he was like I think they were in their 20s when they met each other. She was like um I don't know. They've been married for since I was born, before I was born, like a year before I was born. They've been married for 30 years now, I think. But yeah, it's not weird for me with them, but like I do joke with them about it and be like, how is that? That determines acceptable age range. Now, wait a minute. I heard a formula to use that determines acceptable age range. Divide your age and add 7. Hmm. Interesting. I mean, 5 years isn't bad, but I don't know. I like I said, for me, I cannot be older than the man in terms of years. Now months, because again, I'm months older than my boyfriend. Um, he's born in July, and I'm born in January. Um, that's fine, but like for me to be older, like years older than my boyfriend or whoever I marry, for me, that it sounds weird to me. It sounds weird. Like I don't want to be feeling like I'm raising, like I'm in a relationship with my son or something, you know? Because to me, it's either going to feel like you're my child or you're my brother or something. Like, I don't know. That's just my mind. Different strokes for different folks. Now, never say never because you never know what's going to happen, but I'm trying not to do that. But, yep. And my sisters, they've always been with older, not like old, but like a few years older than them. Or like my sister, my younger sister, she's 20. Wait a minute. Uh, she'll be 28. Duh. 28 next month. And her, I don't know what they are. I know they're separated right now, her husband and her. Um, I don't think they've legally done anything, so that's why I say I don't know what they're gonna do. But I know they don't live together anymore though, but that ain't my business. But anyways, um, he's 30. I think he's like 32 now or something like that. It's That's not necessarily weird. That's actually a good age gap, I feel. But yeah, that's not too bad actually. And my older sister, she's with like, I don't know exactly how old. I don't know. They whatever, they got some weird going on. But anyways, my older sister, um, her husband died in 2020, and this person she's with now, which don't get me started on this person, but um, she's like, I think she's 35 now, 34 or 35, and this guy is like, pretty sure he's about 40 by now. Yeah. Yep. It was yeah, that was 2020. I'm still not exactly sure what happened, but they were actually separated, and then they were kind of like starting to get back on track and get, moving in together and stuff again, briefly, like before he died, which is the weirdest thing. So, but anyway, yeah. Um, yeah. Okay, what is this? Oh. No, actually, no. Now, yes, it did happen in that era, but no. He had a bunch of health issues since pretty much he was a kid, really, and he never really. I don't think he 100% took that stuff seriously until his health started declining. Um, Something happened one night, um, with, I'm still not exactly sure of the events of what was happening with his body and stuff like that, because I'm I'm again, I'm still not 100% on that, but it was I know he had, like, he was going to dialysis and stuff for the last few years. Um he definitely had a problem with his kidneys, but those I don't think that was issues that were the reason why he died that night, but those are issues that he did have, and he did have a drinking problem. Um, on top of that, he smoked cigarettes, but yeah, he did have a drinking problem at one point. Even given that he knew he had problems with his kidneys, um, I think he had high blood pressure and stuff too. But yeah, he had I don't know, it was something like some type of pressure or something in his neck or something that needed to be released. I don't know what they were saying, but it was something like that. Um, he was rushed to the hospital that night. I think his mom took him, and I think by the time they got there, he was still alive, kind of. But yeah, I again 100% am not I'm not 100% certain on exactly what happened, but I do know um, that I mean, because I think he was okay that day. I think he was with my sister earlier that day or the day prior. And yeah, I think they were getting some stuff figured out. They were about to move back in together. My sister found a house. And yep, long story short, that night, yeah. And that was like on my sister's birthday. Like um it was crossing over into that night. So I think it was late at night. Like 11, 12 midnight type thing when we found out that he passed. She was on the phone with him, I think, when he was like when it started, when whatever episode he had started. Um and he from my understanding he was like coughing or something or choking or something. Again, it was something to do with his throat or something. I don't know. Um and that was that. That's about as much as I really know. And his birthday is next month. He is a Leo. And yeah, so he leaves behind three of the out of the five nieces and nephews that I have. Those are his kids and my sister's kids. And yeah, and he had me do a reading for him. Like, um, when was this? It was. I think it was that. I don't know if it was that year or not, but I'm pretty sure. I think it was that year. Um, and I did get a card that was like related to community. Did I think at the time um that was related to people coming together to celebrate him? No, but I've thought about it since then. I remember that particular card very vividly, and I feel like that kind of may have been what that was about, but I didn't realize it at the time. Um, so yeah, yep. I was using the Energy Oracle deck. It was by Sandra Ann Taylor. I still do have those cards, but I think I'm gonna get me a replacement deck because I don't like they're bent up. I need another deck, but another copy of it. But yeah, that is the story. So, Energy Oracle by Sandra Ann Taylor. I think she's like from Australia. I'm pretty sure it's on Amazon. But I'm not like when it comes to me replacing decks that I've already had, like I'm very slow with that because the deck is still useful. It's just annoying to shuffle. So I kind of still just haven't gotten around to replacing it. But and I think I do maybe have one card missing out of it. I'm gonna keep that one. I'm not gonna throw it away, but um yeah. It's a pretty popular deck that's used. And at the time that I first started using it, it wasn't a deck that like I saw circulated everywhere. Like I barely seen people using it. Um It is $21.06 on Amazon. So it's 19% off right now. Now I'm not gonna go buy it today, but one of these days I will replace it. Um, I'm just not in a rush to do that right now. Um, Eventually though, if like if it just gets annoying to look at, eventually I will get another one. The cards themselves, they were hard to shuffle anyway, with the card stock that they chose, the publishers chose for that deck. But it's gotten even worse to shuffle, um, once you like wear it out and overly use it. Ooh, wait a minute. Let me check this thing because I've been here running my mouth knowing that I got stuff to do. That was sent, okay, 9 minutes ago. Because I ain't trying to get fired now. Okay. Um. Yeah. I mean, I think because even like when they choose like too thick of a card stock, it's easier. Like you would think, yes, it's more sturdy and it'll last longer. But once you put all of those cards together and you shuffle and you shuffle and you use it all the time, that was a deck that I used all the time at one point. Um, and I've had that deck for years. So yeah, now it's even harder to shuffle. Yeah. Now this ain't even the longest I've ever been on, but like I used to get on here when I first started a YouTube channel with this. I used to stay on here for like 8 hours. And I quickly eventually realized that I can't do that because, especially when you're on here for 8 hours and you're doing readings, and those are really, really draining to your energy, and you're on here for that long. No. Um, Now, if I'm doing like just type, it's okay. But like if I'm using my voice for that long, and again, I'm doing a lot of readings and stuff like that, that is when it becomes a problem. So, but yeah, I used to stay on here for like 8 hours, 7 hours, 10 hours. Please, I don't know how I did it. I really don't. When I look back at that now, I just be like how? Because now I'm not finna do that. Now I'm not gonna do that. At the most, I might be on here for 3 or 4 hours. Um, that is if it's a like if it's a slow type of day or a slow night for the streams, then yes, I maybe would stay on that long. But if it's like booming and I'm getting a lot of requests for readings and whether they're free or paid, I can't. I would eventually have to get off and take a break. And then I learned that definitely got to be hydrated. Like readings, people think this is a joke. Like you do have to. That I don't know if you just heard that laughing in the background, and he can't hear nothing I said. So for him to laugh while I'm saying joke is wow. That was my nephew, but um, I don't know if y'all heard that or not, but I did. Cause I got the door shut and the air conditioner is on. So, but wow. He's playing. He's on some type of game, I'm pretty sure, or he's watching a video on YouTube. One of the two. Um, but yeah, people do think like this is just all fun, and don't get me wrong, it can be kind of fun, but it's a lot. Why do you think we want? Why do you think people charge for this stuff? Like now, I understand what the woman was talking about when she was saying I needed to charge. Now I see why I need to. Whole point of me shutting the door was so that nobody could hear them. That didn't work. Um, yeah. I mean, it's rewarding in itself. I don't even have to get paid for it to be rewarding, but because even if uh, even if I didn't get paid for it, I would still like you have to do what I'm doing and consistently. You have to have a passion for it. Without passion for something, it won't work. You won't get anywhere. And I guess I would say that's why I'm still doing this. One reason why. Not only that it's a part of my life's purpose and my calling, but it is definitely something that I can't see myself not doing it. So when I'm Lord's will, hopefully I'm here 60, 80 years old, popping out cards and doing live streams and collecting my little disability check, social security. But I mean, not saying that all old people even get that, but you know. And I definitely probably wouldn't be as good as I am had it not been for me being so passionate about it. So my wisdom, the knowledge I have has grown so much in doing this. Like I know so much that I don't if I weren't doing this, I don't think I would know a lot of this stuff. Like a lot of just things in general. Yeah. But it's all love, y'all. It's all love. Yeah. I love old people. I do. Why did I why does it sound like that? But no, I definitely have respect for my elders for sure. Now, some old people can be very hard to deal with, but like I'm still very respectful. Um, you just have to be patient with people. Um, but yeah, because some older people, they don't care what they say to you. Like you really have to have patience because you've been unsaid something you regret. So I mean, you're only human at the end of the day. Because I love my grandma, but baby, she be saying some stuff now. But definitely have to be patient with her because she has dementia. So um, but that don't stop her from talking. And my grandma on my dad's side, she died when I was like 3 or 4. I do remember a handful about her actually. People think it's weird, but because I was so young, but I definitely remember her in some ways. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, now that's another reason why me and Gio get along so well is she has a non she doesn't really have a filter. And I'm I have a filter, but like especially when it comes to her readings, like she ain't finna she's not going to sit there and just sell you like a dream. She's not. And I gravitate towards readers like that. I don't want to be told like all this fantasy stuff. Like it can happen. Like I do give readings where yes, I'm able to tell people positive things, but some people overdo that. Some people overdo the positive stuff. Oh, I know I can be difficult. I know that. I could definitely be difficult. But she like Jill like me, I like speaking of Jill, she's about to go live in about what 25 minutes, it looks like. Um I've got to watch that. I'll probably stop by there. I gotta get off y'all because um I've been staying on here because I'm actually enjoying the conversation myself, but um let me get off because um when I'll be back, I don't know. I haven't either. I just got on, I'm on my laptop. I went to another tab and got on YouTube and it popped up. So that's since I watch her not often. I used to watch her every day because I was in her streams every day. But since I'm still in there a little bit more frequently again, it popped up on my feed when I refreshed, when I got on a different tab. But yes, and thank you for listening and for being here and for talking and for keeping me company. So I will. I don't know if I'll be back tonight. I might. I may not. But um, if not tonight, I'll be back sometime tomorrow. So I love y'all, and I wish y'all um love and light. And I will see y'all hopefully tomorrow, if not tonight, y'all. So see you later.